cutting your own hair is no walk in the park, for one. And for two, if you cut too much off, you really can't glue it back and you can't be mad at anybody else except for yourself. That's kind of why I cut my own hair, now that I've gone to school for it. Every place that I used to go to somehow would mess up my hair. So I figured the best way to eliminate that is to do it yourself. I can only be mad at myself if I mess it up, which works for me. I mean, considering that I don't want to take a lot of length off, and I don't want to take any length off the top after I just did my color, I want to go ahead and use a number 2, which is about 1/4 of an inch. A lot of people do the fades and everything else, or a taper, and I've tried that on myself before, and it is really complicated. So I will go with my number 2 on the segment 1 and 2, which is the sides and the back, and then I will go ahead and take my texturing shears to blend everything in. And once again, you want to have your SMA set up of what you're going to be using. I'm not sure if I needed big clips, small clips, alligator clips, any form of a clip I have, because I wasn't sure how much it's actually going to work with my hair being so short. But first things first, hold on. That's a little better for cutting my hair. Let's get into it. Using my Paul Mitchell shears, or clippers that I got from school, along with my number 2 guard. It says number 2, and it also says 1/4 of an inch. Or 6 millimeters if you are anywhere besides the United States that uses the metric system. Okay. I'm going to start by parting my hair. Actually, I might just not even clip it. I didn't clip it last time and I really didn't have a problem. So let's see how well it works this time. And if I do cut it too much, I can just take the clippers to it more. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do it with my guard open. That way it's about a 2.5 instead of a number 2. And away we go. It's getting there. This is like my 3rd or 4th time cutting my hair myself. It is kind of difficult because you really aren't sure how high to go up in the back, but that is why you have your mirrors. And in my case, I will be using my iPad. And you want to go in every direction that the hair is going. So if you're doing this yourself and your hair grows in all different directions, you might have to turn the clippers over, or use it at an angle, or straight up. It just all depends on your hair texture and type. This is going to sound bad, but I have hair in my underwear at this point. You basically want to keep clippering until you no longer hear the clippers cut hair. If you're hearing them cut hair, obviously it's still cutting hair. But now I'm going to have to go to the back, which I'm going to need my iPad for, because this is my other mirror. And you can do this by yourself if you haven't gone to cosmetology school, but I really wouldn't recommend it. It is kind of difficult, and for most people, this is something that they can't do. I am seriously covered in hair if you can't tell. But now I just want to go up and blend everything together. And with your clippers, it's nice if when you're going up, if you do a little rocking motion out. That way it does cut everything and it is blending it as it's going. If you do have product in your hair, in the sides and the back, it is going to be harder to cut it. So it's best to rinse that off before you do cut your hair. But you want to make sure your hair is clean or it will clog your clippers. I'm all hairy. If you do feel that there is a long spot, go ahead and grab it and take it. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But I do it just because, like I said, if I mess up my hair, I can't be mad at anybody else. I do need to grab another number 3 guard, so that way I can go ahead and do the back. And some of the blending. But as you can tell so far, it's not too terrible. And by the time that I get done, it'll look even better than what it does now. Okay, my number 3 guard, not sure if you can see that, there we go. And it is 3/8 of an inch, or 9 millimeters. Okay, now you want to do the same thing that you did with the number 2. I'm going to go ahead and open the guard completely as well, so that way it will give it the blended look instead of the disconnected look. And once again, do the flicking out motion to help it blend in. Okay, let me check out the back now. Figure out if I need to take more out of that. I do have one long spot right here, which might be a little bit of a challenge, but let's get it done. I feel good about it. If you have never blended hair with clippers before, you might be in for a bit of a challenge. The only way that I've learned is to honestly do it on yourself. If you can do anything on yourself, it's a lot easier instead of doing it on somebody else. At least that way you will learn your clipper movements and you will learn everything. So that way your hair gets more of a blended look. And as you can tell, it is starting to be blended quite nicely. I do feel a couple long pieces in the back still, so I'm going to go with my guard open still and just do the rocker motion. And you want to keep going until you don't hear the clippers cut hair. Then you know that you've hit everything possible. If you are cutting your own hair, I'd also recommend putting a cape on, but it's a little bit harder to move, so I figured you don't need the cape. And I need to grab my other trimmers so I can do the cleanup real quick. I will be right back. Surprise! Told you, right back. Gonna use my Paul Mitchell trimmers that I did get from school as well. This is the hard part. Okay. I have hair everywhere. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and touch up my sideburns. And they are pretty long right now, which I do like them to grow longer because I don't grow facial hair here. So it takes me a really long time to grow anything. But I'm going to go ahead and turn them on. The hard part about this is you have to make sure you are getting everything uniformed on each side. Because if you don't, and you keep taking your sideburns higher and higher and higher, pretty soon they will be up to here and you will seriously look like a hot mess. Nobody needs to look like that. So after you do a little trim, you want to look at your ears behind. Make sure you didn't leave any little long straggling hairs, which I did a little bit.